Good morning. A different morning, wintry mornings, more cloud, more beauty. That's an interesting formula, more cloud, more beauty. When there are clouds in our lives, it can be occasions of great spiritual beauty. The abundance of colors, abundance of life, abundance of pilgrims. Yesterday was a very, very busy day. I'm not sure how many pilgrims we had, but we had way over 1,000 pilgrims yesterday, and it's the beginning of December. Normally, traditionally, decades ago, and even in my own experience here, the high seasons for pilgrims are the spring and the fall, partly because of the weather also. And usually pilgrims would really die down by the beginning of November. There was a big burst of Italians coming for the Feast of All Saints, and All Souls were free days in Italian society, so they combined it with long weekends. The trip isn't so far as from the Americas. It's 4 or 5 hours. So then it would die off until into February. But before, let's say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, then it was beginning to fill up all the times because more and more people were coming. More and more people were coming to visit the holy sites. It's also amazing what it does. There was a person here yesterday who had an extraordinary renewal of his spiritual life. It's amazing how the abundance of gifts pour out into the soul. People we open up our hearts, and God's graces pour in, and there's no stopping of the abundance. And these words are very much also echoing what's in the readings today. The readings echo very much. Hey, I'm not going over here. It's still very damp. I was going to go down to the other beach area of the camp, but I don't have the right shoe work on. So another day, God willing. So there's great abundance today, even as a farming boy, shoveling silage in abundance to the cattle. That was always a great joy. And sometimes if there's a very bad long winter, a farmer has to be careful because the grass has not started to grow yet. And so sometimes maybe if a long winter, the winter feed that was harvested in the previous summer has to be measured out carefully and rationed a little bit if it's not possible to acquire more. And so to shovel out silage abundantly, because you want to have the stock fatten up. Abundance. There's a lot of abundance in the way God works. The abundance of the fish in the sea, the abundance of water. Even though people do experience great scarcity at times, even in wet Ireland, we had 3 summers we had to buy water for the cattle. Good morning. Buenos dias. Very well. Where are you? I don't know you.
Yeah, I'm the Episcopal priest from
Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this?
I'm doing a live stream. You want to say hello to the whole world?
Yes. Hello, world.
Well, you didn't get on camera yet. What's your name again?
Bill.
This is Father Bill. He's an Episcopal priest from Texas. Imagine they're Episcopal priests in Texas. Isn't that amazing? And this is his lovely wife, Sandy.
Yeah.
So Father Bill and Sandy. And then we have another priest coming over there from Wichita, Kansas, from Kansas. There's an Episcopalian priest from Texas. Oh, you met already? Very good. And this other priest looks like another priest with the same kind of a beard, and it turns out that they're third cousins. Imagine you can have the same kind of beard being a third cousin. So what's your wisdom from this morning, Father Bill and Sandy, your experience of the Sea of Galilee, of Magdala, whatever?
So we got here just as the sun was coming up, and we were imagining Jesus appearing on the beach and serving what we would call barbecue in Texas, grilled fish and bread, breakfast, and asking Peter if he truly loved him.
That's a
if
good
he
thought.
wanted to feed us sheep.
That's a beautiful thought, and that goes very well with the readings, because when the last word in the gospel text we have for the readings today is, I want to watch the sun coming out. The last word for the of the gospel reading today is, what you have received freely, give freely. And you know, that's the way the whole gift of faith is, isn't it? The gift of grace, the gift of life. You know, I was thinking about parents. Are you blessed with children?
Yes.
Two children. And you know, like, how much does a child pay the parents for breakfast when they're a year old?
It's free.
Right.
You know, and how much does do we ever pay for anything? You know, I was really shocked actually when I came to the States way back when, and for the first time in my internship back in 1979 to 83, I was in Michigan in the Detroit area, and these people are singing over here. This is the Kansas people. So I was really shocked that the parents would pay the child to mow the lawn. And it had its educational purpose, because it helped the child to become responsible and to work for a gain. But actually, what a great joy it is to work just to give.
Yes.
To work just to give. And I'm blessed myself. I don't own a penny since 1974.
Wow.
And obviously my needs are taken care of, but I don't have the goal. I don't have a goal of it's not a goal to acquire things.
Yeah.
And I don't own anything. The only thing I own is a crucifix. It's one experience as part of the charism of religious life in the church, you know, that God gives a calling to some people to live out a certain aspect of the gospel in a particular way.
Right.
And but the experience of gratuity. You know, I had a very beautiful experience once with a person, and they said you should always give a tip at a gas station, because the work the person does to pump the gas is paid, they get a salary. But there's a whole person, a human being, that's there to serve me, and I need to recognize the gift that a person is, because it's not a machine.
Right.
You wouldn't give a tip to an ATM or to an automatic tank station that fills with just putting in your card, when there's a human being there. So once we have people, there's gratuitousness. The sun is going to come now. And that gratuitousness needs recognition. That's why we say thank you. When we pay the right amount for a certain service or product, it's not enough. We have to say thank you, because of the gratuity, the gratuitousness of the service, and that a human being is there to serve me. That's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's such a privilege to receive the gift and to honor the gift.
Yes.
And to say thank you for the
Yes.
gift.
Yes.
Just as the sunrise is
Yes.
a gift unearned.
Exactly.
And so beautiful.
Exactly. We also have a line here on the Sunrise Stroll and Chat frequently for the last few years since we started this, that behind every gift is a giver. And so if this sunrise is a gift, there's a giver behind the gift. And that's the whole gratuitousness also of prayer. Sometimes people only see prayer as asking for something. But actually the first part of prayer is the experience of the gratuitousness of life, the gift of life that we didn't pay for, that we couldn't make, that we couldn't invent, that we couldn't gift ourselves with, and to be so grateful. There comes the sun now, little by little.
That's beautiful.
Good job I stopped you, because you were walking away.
I know, that was perfect timing. Thank you. That was a gift.
Also,
You blessed us.
well, the Lord blessed you that He's the source of all the blessings. So this is going to be nice. So every morning we're doing this. So I'll give you the links later.
Okay, good.
So you can see it on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
And thank you for everything here.
Oh,
We'll be in touch when we bring our group.
when do you leave?
We leave today.
Well, I'll catch you at break. What time are you leaving this morning?
8:30.
Okay, I'll catch you because we have prayer at 8:15, 8 to 8:15 in the chapel, and so I'll see you right after that.
Okay, sounds good. It's so good to
God
see
bless you. And if I forget to for some reason, just come up to the dining room and just I will connect that.
Okay, sounds
God
good.
bless you.
Thank you.
God bless Daniel. So that's nice now to see this group over there praying the morning praise. You know, the word for the morning praise is lauds. And lauds is the Latin laud, laudare, magna cum laude, is with great praise, to thank, to be grateful to God for the new day. That's why morning prayer is so important, because we recognize that gift of life. And what you have received freely, give freely. That line is so beautiful. That should be a great motto. And that's what parents do, that's what grandparents do, and that's what nurses do and doctors do. Okay, they get a wage, but there's so much more done by a doctor and a nurse than is paid for. There's so much more done by everybody who cooks a meal. Maybe they got a salary for it. Maybe even they got a tip for it. But to say thank you, there's a whole spiritual level to our human life. Even I would think you could say that for a person who is agnostic and atheist. Because it's not just done with the financial, contractual agreement fulfillment. That's why we also need celebration. And we need moments of public recognition of gratitude for service done. You know, we're also very critical of politicians because there's a lot of abuse. When people have authority, they can serve their own interests and they can seek to establish their own power rather than to be there truly for the service of the people. But there are a lot of public servants who really work very hard and put in a lot of service, and we should thank them. Is there some public servant that you know? Usually public servants don't get paid that much. They get paid a salary, and it's, you know, you can live with it probably in most countries, hopefully. Otherwise, then there's a real danger of corruption. But to say thank you, because I remember once a man in New York, he was a very senior person in banking, and if he crossed the street and went to work for a bank instead of for the Federal Reserve Bank, he would have triple, 4 times the salary. But he also recognized his calling in his work, and he also had a fulfillment doing his work in the Federal Reserve Bank. And how many people are working in those positions? Of course, they're earning a living, earning a salary for their family, to provide for their family, for needs. Some people work extra in order to earn money to give more freely to the poor. Amazing thought, isn't it? To work a little overtime to have more to give to the poor, to give to needy causes, to give to education, or people who volunteer time. You see, that's giving freely what you have received freely. Imagine all the work teachers put into correcting exercises when we were little children, showing us how to write. Okay, they got a salary, but they love to put into it the personal engagement and involvement. And societies go through hard times, and people and individuals do, we all do. But there, in the context of Isaiah's text today, it's a time after a lot of suffering for the people You know, it's the time of exile. Think of all the people today, migrants, immigrants, refugees, war situations, major conflicts, major destructions of homes, bombings, a terrible violence that happens and destroys society, you know. And now there's a time of abundant healing. And there'll be even plenty of silage for the animals. And obviously a good flock is a great source of life for a family, for a farming family. Abundance, the gift of abundance, the gift of blessing. There are a lot of texts like this in the gospel as well. You know what? The sowing of the seed, and it gives 30, 40, 60, 100-fold. You put down one little seed for a tree and a whole tree comes out of it. The abundance, the growth, the love. It's very poor form for a human being to be miserly and grasping. Tight. One thing is to be thrifty and not to waste all the great things that we've been given. But another thing is to be tight and small-hearted and always measuring and grasping and avaricious. Abundance, abundance. The Wichita people are getting their group photograph here at sunrise. Yeah, I could. You're on live stream right now. You're not just getting a picture. You're on television. You're being seen all over the world. Is it the Kansas people? You want it vertical or horizontal?
Maybe
both.
Horizontal. Yeah, both.
Okay. You guys are on my sunrise stroll and chat this morning. We'll have to sing a good Kansas song now for the people. Hey. Wow, thank you very much. There goes Kansas. So the whole world is greeting Kansas this morning. Oops. I hope I got enough pictures for you here. Oh, I did. I took a bunch, but I'm just getting more, you know. I can't guarantee you 100% because of the one hand was tied up.
Oh, that's okay. We'll make it work. Yeah, it'll work.
So we'll say goodbye for this morning. God bless you all. from all this abundance here. See you later, alligators.